Am I the only one that thinks that the smaller chibi Yuppie is cuter than the chibi Pouf? But man, the first half of this episode, the best word to describe it was strange. It was very, very strange. Although I understand all the symbolism that's there, like Pouf and Yuppie being in the liquid with Meruem, and them saying that they are like the queen because they pretty much rebirthed or gave birth to Meruem again. I understand that, but it was just really weird. I mean, Pouf and Yuppie literally orgasmed when the king just complimented on how they taste, which is weird by itself that the king was actually eating them. Meruem looked like an infant with Bijou mode. It was hilarious. Like, the entire first part I was laughing. It's not supposed to be funny, but I found it very funny. The first part I busted out laughing was when Meruem, when he opened up his crusty ass mouth and his lips opened up like an inch and it made that cracking sound. I don't know why, it was really funny to me. Let us be serial here. Since Yuppie and Pouf fed themselves, well, actually, Yuppie fed his like actual cells to Meruem, whereas Pouf fed his clones to Meruem, which is in turn his cells. But anyway, will that have a damage on their health? Like, I can see anything just knocking Yuppie out because he gave the king all he could without killing himself, it seems, because, I mean, Chibi Pouf can turn back to regular Pouf, but I don't think Yuppie can turn back. So what is really going to happen with Yuppie? And let me say that it is total and utter bullshit that Netero sacrificed his life. He died thinking that he took out Meruem, and he came back. He didn't even die, but he came back stronger than ever. I mean, we see that he has Yuppie's powers now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he also has Pouf's, but this guy has fucking wings now, and he made a 15-minute trip into a 5-minute trip. This dude is literally going Super Saiyan. This dude is flying at crazy speeds, but I would like to see him with Yuppie's abilities, though, like him to be able to turn into a fucking centaur, or maybe something not that extreme. Maybe he could transform into different mystical creatures as well. But honestly, who was going to stop this guy? He's come back stronger than what he was when he fought Netero, and he took a blast of the entirety of Netero's Nen and the Rose Bomb, and he's still alive. Who the fuck is going to take this dude down now? There's going to have to be another sacrifice, but I see Yuppie and Pouf dying because of the cells that they lost feeding the king. I mean, I can already tell that's going to happen, except maybe Pouf, because his clones can still form the regular size Pouf. So I don't know, maybe the bankruptcy, maybe they do defeat him. But am I thinking too much? But it seems that since their minds became one, or the guards' minds have become one with the king, shouldn't the king's mind become one with them also? Like, can he tell what they're thinking? If that's the case, shouldn't Meruem be able to know that Pouf is trying to do something dirty behind the king's back? Because he wasn't having that shit when he knew that Pouf lied to him. He was literally about to demolish Pouf without a second thought. So I would think that he would be able to tell. I'm thinking maybe the king does know, but in his mind he may think that Pouf is just trying to take out another enemy, but when he gets there and see that Pouf is trying to betray him, maybe he will be the one to get rid of Pouf. Now, I'm used to seeing Pouf do this borderline homosexual stuff, no offense, but when Yuppie orgasmed, I was like, man, he's too muscular to be jumping around and seeing fairies and stuff. But just imagine how strong the king would be if Pitou was also there giving up part of her body to save the king. I mean, he's already OP. He's OP now that he has Yuppie and Pouf, but with Pitou's abilities as well, this dude will be unstoppable. He's already pretty damn close to being unstoppable, and I'm being completely serious here. I cannot think of a single hunter who is strong enough to take down Meruem. But Palm's technique is very useful. If she's laid eyes on anyone before, she can pretty much track where they are, I guess within a certain amount, like a certain range, because she couldn't tell the king was alive until they got a bit closer. And when she recalled the memory of her seeing Pouf, Pitou was right next to him. So will that like come into play? Does that hold any significance? Like maybe Gon does get his ass whooped and you know she sees it and she goes and helps out or whatever. Maybe she sacrifices herself for Gon, but I'm pretty sure I'm thinking too much. Actually, next episode I foresee a Killua versus Pouf, because we know Pouf is like dead set on killing Komugi before the king comes. But I mean, what if he did kill Komugi and the king got his memories back after that? The king would just straight up pulverize Pouf. But anyway, we see in the preview that Killua has Komugi on his back and he has Godspeed activated. The only reason I could think of that he would activate it is if he's trying to protect her and, like, you know, run real fast away from someone, or if he's about to fight someone. And the only one I could think in this scenario is Pouf. So maybe Killua does take down Pouf, but I'm like 100% sure that the king is going to see Komugi again, because there is so much development between those two that still needs to happen. Like, the king still has to tell Komugi his name. I highly doubt Pouf will be able to kill Komugi, but I'm pretty sure the king will find out about Pouf's betrayal, or maybe he already does know and he's just seeing if Pouf will come forward. But even though the beginning was weird, I really did like it. I especially like the part when they said that they've reached the pinnacle of their species, which is the queen, and they pretty much gave birth to the king, like I said, and that is like the ultimate love to them. This may turn out to be some Romeo and Juliet type shit. Maybe Pouf is successful in killing Komugi, and then the king remembers everything and he can't live without Komugi for some reason. Like, he finds out that he loves her and then he kills himself, because I mean, let's get real, no one in this scenario, unless someone big like badass comes in and helps out, no one on this field, even with everyone combined, is enough to handle this guy. No one can kill the king right now. So that may very well be what happens. Maybe he does kill himself. If not for that reason, maybe for another reason. But the king is on the way to the palace, in the room probably where Komugi was last seen by the guard, the one where Pouf just got owned in. And when he gets there, the only person he's going to see is Palm. So really, what is he going to do to all of the hunters that are there? I'd imagine that Killua is trying to stay his distance from the king, because I mean, that may be why he activated Godspeed, so he can get the fuck out of there. But I am happy that the king is still alive, because like I said, there is still more development that needs to happen between he and Komugi. And I really do want him to tell her his name, and I really want him to find the answer when he asks himself, what do I want to do with this girl? Like, why is she so important to me? And I hope we do find that out really soon. But it just sucks that Netero blew himself up, stopped his own heart in hopes to destroy the king, but the king is walking around literally stronger than ever. That just seems like a big fuck you to Netero's character. I would like to think that a blast that size and something that caused rocks to fucking melt into magma would have some type of side effect, like maybe radiation or a poison kind of thing. But I mean, the king and Pouf and Youpi, they felt fine. They're fucking flying back to the palace. So I don't think that's a factor here. I was crossing my fingers that when Meruem got up stronger than ever, that maybe one of the guards or maybe the king himself was like, hey, this site, there's radiation going on here or something, because I really don't want Netero's sacrifice to be in vain. But I'm still crossing my fingers that there's still something more to this blast, because I mean, the only thing that Netero succeeded in was giving Meruem more strength, really, and that would be a fucked up way to sacrifice your life. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. The king has a little bit less than 5 minutes to make it to the palace and hopefully find Komugi before Pouf does. What do you guys think is going to happen? This has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.